than ever, true wisdom is becoming more and more scarce. Why does the modern world seem to celebrate ignorance, mediocrity, and superficiality, while silencing depth, intellect, and thoughtful reflection? Why are the thinkers fading into shadows while entertainers bask in the limelight? In this video, we will dive deep into a question that is as urgent as it is uncomfortable. Why has stupidity become a cultural virtue? And what does that say about the death of wisdom in our time? Stay with us until the end, because the final revelation is not only the most important, it's the most transformative. It may very well change the way you see the world, and yourself, forever. Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe to our channel, leave a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Let's create a space for those who still value thinking, reflection, and the kind of insight that cuts through the noise. What you're about to discover may not only surprise you, it might awaken something that has been dormant within you for too long. Now let's begin this journey. To understand the modern glorification of stupidity, we must first understand what wisdom actually is and what it is not. Wisdom is not merely intelligence, it's not data or information or even knowledge. As the philosopher Socrates once said, the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. Wisdom is born out of humility. It is the quiet awareness of the complexity of life and the refusal to make shallow judgments. It is earned, never given, felt, not flaunted, but our society has shifted its compass. We no longer value depth, we crave immediacy. We no longer revere the slow and quiet unfolding of understanding. We worship the quick fix, the viral quote, the bite-sized meme. Think of the public figures we elevate today. Celebrities who gain millions of followers for controversy, not contribution. Influencers who profit from shock, not substance. Politicians who simplify to manipulate rather than educate. In this world, to be loud is to be heard, and to be reflective is to be irrelevant. The result? A generation drowning in information, but starving for wisdom. It was German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche who warned that when people are no longer able to distinguish between truth and illusion, society decays. That decay today is evident. We see it in the breakdown of meaningful conversations. We see it in the rejection of nuance. We see it in how public discourse has become a shouting match, not a search for understanding. Ask yourself, when was the last time you saw a calm, intelligent conversation go viral? When was the last time you heard a political leader admit they didn't know something and were willing to learn? When did complexity stop being seen as a sign of depth and start being seen as a flaw? In the ancient world, wisdom was seen as the highest virtue. The Greeks revered the philosopher, literally, the lover of wisdom. The Egyptians saw wisdom as divine. The Chinese sage Confucius spoke endlessly about the cultivation of inner harmony and moral clarity. And yet today that kind of pursuit seems almost laughable. We say we admire the wise, but we rarely reward them. We glorify those who entertain, not those who enlighten. The psychologist Carl Jung observed that thinking is difficult, that's why most people judge. Our society has replaced thought with opinion, study with scrolling, dialogue with debate. And this cultural shift is not accidental, it is engineered. Media algorithms favor rage and oversimplification. Social platforms reward impulsive reactions, not careful consideration. Educational systems are underfunded, over-standardized, and increasingly focused on producing compliant workers instead of thoughtful citizens. What does this mean for us? It means that if you want to think deeply, you must swim against the current. You must reject the idea that speed is better than accuracy, that style is more valuable than substance, that popularity is the same as truth. We must stop and ask, who benefits when we stop thinking for ourselves? Who profits when we're too distracted to question the narratives we're fed? Why is stupidity not just tolerated but celebrated? American philosopher Noam Chomsky once said, the smart way to keep people passive and obedient is to strictly limit the spectrum of acceptable opinion, but allow very lively debate within that spectrum. In other words, we are given the illusion of choice, of freedom, of knowledge, when in fact most of it is curated, manipulated, and designed to keep us from waking up. But here's the good news. Wisdom has not died. It has only gone into hiding. Like a seed waiting beneath the surface, it survives in the quiet, in the unread books, in the long conversations, in the moments of solitude that most now fear. It survives in you, if you choose to look inward rather than always outward. So what will it take for wisdom to rise?